Welcome to How to Play Ambient Guitar. On today's episode, what I'd like to do is look at some of the different sounds and effects you can get by changing the position of your looper pedal in relationship to your delay and reverb pedals. So let's get to work. Okay, we've got a few different options for where to place the looper, and we're going to explore them. Option number one is to place the looper before any delays and reverbs. And if you look at the inset, you'll see that that's what I currently have set up. I've got my Ditto X4 looper running into the Flashback 2, running into the Hall of Fame 2. So looper, delay, reverb. Let me go ahead and play you the current sound that I have dialed up with the delay and the reverb. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is record a loop, just a real simple loop, and let's see what we can do with that. All right, so here we go. All right, so I've got my simple loop. Now, it is a dry loop. Let me turn off the delay and the reverb and take a listen. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the delay in. Okay, so you can hear that it's dry. I can now add delays. I can also play over top of it just like I would any loop. Okay, that's great. Now, since it's a dry loop, I can go ahead and switch up my delays and reverbs. Let me show you what I mean. Now we'll add in reverb. All right, so this is a very flexible option. Again, it's one that I use almost all of the time. My looping needs are very simple. I'm recording, so I typically like to create the loop, and then if I need to tweak delays or reverbs, I can do that and build a sound. Now, what if you're more of a performance artist and you want to create a loop and then play a lead over top of it with different reverb or delay settings? Well, in that case, you'll need to switch the position of your looper. So I'm going to do that and come right back. All right, I'm back, and as you can see, I've reconfigured the pedals. Now, the signal flows out of the volume pedal into the flashback delay pedal, into the Ditto X4, and then on into the Hall of Fame reverb. So in this configuration, as I use the looper, I'm going to be recording an affected guitar. In other words, a guitar that's being affected by the flashback. All right, makes sense? And because of that, I have decreased the delay time. Check this out. Okay, and the reason why I decreased the delay time, made it shorter, is that I found, at least for me, I have a really hard time getting a clean loop if delay times are too long or if there's too much feedback or repeats on the delay. So I'm going to go ahead and record that same loop that I did before with this shorter delay time, and let's see if I can get a clean sounding affected loop. Okay, that was a pretty good loop. The end of the loop and the beginning of the loop kind of blended into each other nicely. I guarantee I would have had a hard time doing that with a long delay type. Now, what can I do with this? Well, the great thing is, in this configuration, I've got the loop sounding the way it does, and now I can feel free to change the delay parameters for any parts I want to play on top of it. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to create a much longer delay time and add some repeats to it. And then I'm going to add the Hall of Fame reverb in so I can get a reverb wash across both the lead playing and then the loop itself. So here we go. Sorry about the bad note there in the lead line, but you get the picture. Nice long delay type on that lead line, and then I've got the shorter delay type on the recorded loop. So that's just kind of a brief view of where you might want to consider placing your looper pedal in your effects chain. So you can do it like I normally do. That's just me, where I go volume pedal, looper, delay, reverbs, or if you want to actually record effects, then you can place that looper pedal further down in the effects chain. One thing that I would recommend being very careful of is placing the looper after the reverb pedal. That's going to be very difficult to get a smooth sounding loop with your typical reverb types, especially if the reverb is longer. Maybe it's a big hall reverb, lots of just echoes and reverberation off walls and things like that. It's going to be really hard to loop smoothly. So you can try it. There's no rules. It's whatever you like, but I would probably keep that reverb on the tail end. If you haven't already done so, I would love it if you would subscribe to Chords of Orion. I've got ambient guitar related content coming every week. And in this week's episode, all the equipment that you see on the floor here, I've got Amazon affiliate links to in the video description if you're interested. And as always, I'll see all of you on the next video.